Everyone, Kate DePalma from Scented Designs Candle Company here. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend out in the Bay Area where we are. It was sunny and beautiful and gorgeous and just really nice to pause for a second and just spend some time outside. So, amazing guest with whom I've worked personally as far as my business and growing the business, and she's amazing. And here she is. Yay! Thank you so much for joining.
Oh my God. You know, I got my candle burning back here, so I'm all ready.
Love it. Oh my gosh. Well, you'll have to give a little plug for the candles we made for you. But before that, I would love to just have you introduce yourself. I will say that I've worked with Jen for several months, and you've done amazing things for my business, and even just, you know, like female founders connecting. Like, you're one of my favorite people when it comes to business and being I think the cheerleader, right? Like, that is totally you. So I just love it. But I would love to hear you introduce yourself, who you are, what you do. We'll start with that.
I help female service providers learn to use Pinterest and create their marketing workflow in a way that's good for them. Meaning, unlike some educators, everyone has different time limitations. And like for me, I take every Tuesday off to be on the ground playing with my grandbabies with no work. And the only way I can do that and have a thriving business is if I have that marketing workflow down pat. And I make sure that marketing is just as important as client work and my business.
100%. And you said service-based businesses, but of course you've worked with me.
Yeah.
Is that, have you worked with other product businesses too? Or?
I've worked with a number of product-based businesses, but because my business is really solely around organic growth, I don't do ads. And a lot of product businesses sometimes want to do ads in Pinterest, and that's not an area that I believe that you need. And thus, I try to say female service providers, but yes, I do work with all kinds of people. So I work with an attorney who has templates that she sells. That's products, but she's a service provider too. So it just depends.
Right. And honestly, I kind of feel that way about my business even these days, where it starts as the product, there's the candle, but then you kind of almost build this service around it. What service can you provide? And that's something you've really helped me with like the video content you were doing, is seeing, like, telling the story. What's the service? How are these candles like doing something? Not just, you know, they're not just
yeah. And that's kind of my area of expertise. Like, I came from marketing in corporate America, and then my photography business way back in 2009, used Pinterest to grow that business. And now I'm educating people on how to do it. But I firmly believe that it is really important that you serve your clients or I hate the word audience, but I don't have a better word for that. The people that you follow, your community. I think education is so important, whether you sell a service or you sell products or you sell a combination of both. You should really approach it as, you know, giving a great service to your clients.
Totally.
You do.
Oh, thank you. Same.
I am a big fan.
Thank you. Well, speaking of education, I know, like, when I reached out about doing this talk with you, you have so much expertise to share, in part because of your background and all the different ways you've been involved in marketing. But now, at this point in time, what is some of the education you are most excited about providing to your clients, to your audience, to other business owners? What is that?
My core of my business really is Pinterest marketing. I feel like there are a lot of Pinterest educators out there or Pinterest managers out there. But I really approach it not from wanting to grow Pinterest, but from wanting clients to grow their business, right? Having that strategic focus on that end client, what they want to learn, what they want to be inspired by. And Pinterest is perfect for that. But areas that I've delved into lately are really the strategics, strategy behind marketing, right? So for you, when we're doing the short form videos, it was not just about the video clips, right? That's a reel, but it's about the strategy and the words that get people enticed to start following and then see all your great, wonderful candles. So I feel like that and marketing workflow. I feel like so many business owners have workflows for everything in their business, but not in marketing. And if you're really super smart and you repurpose content, you could have a plethora of content going out, but you're only really focusing on one piece of content a week.
That, when you say that, it's funny because it sounds so perfect.
But nobody thinks like that.
No.
That's what I found,
Yeah. So given that, because I'll say, like, I've tried the idea of repurposing. I 100% try to do it, and I still get bogged down in that process, and I'm not quite sure why. Like, do you have a top tip for when you're like, hey, here's my one piece of content? How do you go about repurposing it efficiently, right? Because that's the whole point.
Yeah. Efficiently and basically working smarter, not harder, which I think is like my tagline for my business. I get very excited when I can save even an hour for a client, or more. I think with regards to repurposing here in 2024, we have AI, and AI people are either nervous about it or they're using it, but they're not like adding their brand voice to it. So it doesn't sound like them. And I think what you can do is, if you focus on one main piece of content, that could be a podcast, that could be a blog, that could be a YouTube video, one piece of content. And then from there, you can use AI to say, hey, I wrote this blog. Can you repurpose it for, and you can say this in one go. I'm prefacing this by saying you've entered in all your business things, right, like what information you provide, what your ideal client is struggling with. Those are great to enter into an AI type situation. But after you have all that in there, you can say, can you take this blog and repurpose it to make 3 Instagram reels? And you can say, like, you could go deeper in that, right? You could say an Instagram reel that is a bunch of videos of what I do behind the scenes, or you can say, whatever you want to say. Then you say, I want to repurpose it for LinkedIn for a post. I want to repurpose it for Pinterest pins. It will do all of that work for you. So what used to take me much more time is now taking me much less time. But the key, and I think what you're talking about in terms of easily repurpose it, it is a process, right? So it's not the instant, but you can take what they give you, and then you're going to go into Instagram as an example and put it in. Then you need to go through and change and make those words your own. So for instance, I never say hello. I say hey, which is not very like my language, right? I'm more relaxed type of brand. And then of course, having a call to action in everything. And on every platform, it could be different. Right. On LinkedIn, it could be follow me on Instagram. It could be sign up for my freebie. It could be, how is your day going? Like, it doesn't have to be a sales call to action every time. But if you have a call to action all the time, you're training the people that are following you to take action. And that's how it brings them in. You would bring them into your community so that you could then nurture them and get them to book you or purchase your products.
Those are great tips. And that's why I love, like, you say you're Pinterest, and I know that's so much what you do, but all the things, all the places.
Well, I find that, again, going back to what your ideal client is struggling with helps to really niche down and narrow into exactly what you're doing. My ideal client always struggles with time first. Okay. Everyone wants clients, everyone wants leads. That's sort of a given in your business, but time is the thing that typically blocks them, or not knowing how. So like, I have services that helps create a strategy for a client that tells them what to do on every single day and then what to do. And that's according to how many days you have to give. So I have one client that has a number of children and she runs 2 businesses. I'm always shocked because I have 4, but they're all adults, right? And she said, I have 1 day a week that I can give, like I can actually give. Mm-hmm. And we set up her whole marketing workflow with the places she wants to show up regularly. And she has since been hitting it out of the park because she's making it consistent. Consistency, sadly, is the key. If anyone listening knows another word for consistency that clicks for me, I would love it, because everyone hates hearing it, but it's just the truth.
No, that's super smart. And this goes back a little bit, but Michelle, by the way, I was saying, hi, Michelle. She loves your not salesy call to action, by the way, which I do too. And I know that was...
I missed that. Say it again.
Just the non-salesy call to action, just how key that is. And I think that resonates with a lot of business owners, regardless of what you're selling. So I plus one her comment too.
And you can also say something like, send me a DM and tell me if you struggle with this too. Like just starting to have that conversation. You don't have to say, click this link and book me now.
Right.
But I'll say, as a marketing educator, that if you have 5 times a week that you post, one of those must be a full direct sale.
Okay.
Here's my candle. I would love for you to purchase it, or this is why you purchasing it will help your business, or whatever it is. One should be a full sale. One should be for your lead magnet because you want to get people into your email list. And then the other 3, you can go ahead and just say, follow me for more information, or just any call to action.
Oh, that's so good. Both because you're building consistency in a way that feels manageable, not overwhelming.
Yes.
It gives you an idea of like how to talk to them. And I do like not even just educating them about the product or service, but how to interact with you. That is brilliant. Like training your audience of follow me, do this.
No one wants to feel like a car salesperson, right? And that's what we think of in our head when we're asking for a direct sort of call to action or a buy now situation. And in that case, I always tell people, get over it. Like, you're gonna have to ask for a sale once a week, or even once every 2 weeks, whatever your marketing workflow is, really you should have one of those in there. And that alone will increase sales. And it's kind of crazy. But if you had it on every post, nobody would want to follow you either. So you have to be thoughtful.
Right. And Megan, hi Megan, she says, such great advice, which I totally agree. I echo that. I want to backtrack a little bit for a second, because I think we just kind of went full steam ahead into all of this, which is great. So much value from you. But I had called our little Instagram live, I think I called it search versus social marketing, right? Like everything you don't know about that. And you are such an expert on that. Can you just give us the 30-second elevator pitch of what the difference is anyway, and why we should care? Why we should know?
Yeah. So everyone's familiar with social media marketing. That's using Instagram, TikTok, those types of platforms, right? So first, a search marketing platform is very simple. It's Google, which is your blog. It's YouTube, which Google owns, right? Getting a name here. And then the third, I call the little stepchild, is Pinterest. Those are search marketing platforms. Now, search marketing platforms are just like it sounds. If someone goes to a browser bar and types in what they're looking for, all these things pop up. You see YouTubes, you see Pinterest, and you see blogs essentially on there. Those are the things, those are like the top of the funnel for bringing people into your company, getting new eyeballs on your stuff. It is super important that you have at least one of these. And typically, this is the one thing people let slip, right? I have people coming to me all the time like, I know we need Pinterest. I've heard you on sales things. I know, I just forget, or I just don't have time, right? So if it's just a blog and you don't have time for Pinterest, that's fine. You could also outsource, but I'm just saying that's totally fine, right? But then you need to blog every single week. This is what's getting you eyeballs on your content. And most people have this piece missing. And what's interesting is social media marketing, the posts that you put on there are going to last. TikTok, I think it's like 5 minutes. Instagram, it's like 24 to 48 hours, sometimes a week if it's gone viral for whatever reason. But usually you're not bringing in your ideal client in that situation anyway. Pinterest is 3+ months. And in my situation, because I've been using it since 2009, since it was in beta, I have pins that are still ranking in my top 20 that are from 6 and 7 years ago.
That's incredible.
Those pins have been there forever, right?
Yeah.
And they're still driving traffic. So that's the new eyeballs on your content, right? So every single business owner should have one for each list. So for social media, right, it's TikTok, it's Instagram, it's Facebook. Search marketing is Pinterest, YouTube, and blogs. LinkedIn is kind of in the middle.
Right.
I wouldn't say it's a search marketing platform per se, because it doesn't as always show up in searches unless it's your name. So topics won't show up typically in searches. So it's not a search marketing platform, but it's way better than any of the other social media marketing platforms. So for instance, I have one client who takes and does a blog every single week. She takes that blog and puts it into AI and says, I would like to have 3 Instagram posts and 1 Facebook posts for these. Now, if you want to save time, this is not perfect, but if you want to save time, whatever you post on LinkedIn or whatever you post on Instagram, post it on the other. You do not have to wait a couple days. Like there's advice out there that says, post on LinkedIn on this day and post on Instagram on this day. I believe in spreading out the content, but you could put the exact same photo and exact same caption, title information, and not everyone's going to see it because it's social media. So I think they say, last I checked, about 3% of your followers will ever see your content on Instagram. That's depressing,
yeah.
Right? To have a search marketing platform, you need to have that to bring in multiple eyeballs. I even, for some of my management clients, when they do a reel, I'll also repurpose it onto Pinterest with the Instagram link, and they have grown their Instagram that way too. And I have another client which you probably know, who we put their content from LinkedIn over onto Pinterest. So it is, the repurposing doesn't have to be perfect. You obviously don't want link in bio anywhere else, because that's not pretty at all. And you'll start seeing now certain Instagram posts which will have a full link, which of course you can't click on it, right? But if you, like myself, am auto posting to my Facebook, so I don't have to, you want to have a link in there so that they can click on it. I've actually had people, before I made that change, put a message and say, where's the link? And I'm like, oh, darn, people want to see it. That's the whole purpose of posting.
Right.
So yeah, so that's a little bit about search and repurposing.
So good. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Even like days of posting, like I've never really thought about that. I'm pretty sure I schedule the same thing. I try to schedule across platforms, but I do it all the same day. I'm just like, that's totally okay to do that. If you're consistent posting, whether you do every day or every other day or every 3 days, cross posting is totally fine on the same day. If you are only posting once a week on Instagram, then I would say you want to post on a different day on LinkedIn. Right. It depends on your kind of what you're doing, which is part of that whole big strategy. Okay. Amazing. All right. I have one question. This is like mostly for me, but everyone else too. Video. Like, can we be real about is it like the single most important thing right now across all platforms? Is it like, hey, Pinterest, you don't need video? Or like, just because that was one of the ways we were working together. Jen was creating short form content for Senate Designs based on like random videos I had of behind the scenes and all that sort of stuff. So, and I just felt like, oh my God, there's video everywhere. I need it. Is that actually the case?
So, with regard to Pinterest first, you absolutely need to do both. And I have tested it, because if you don't have to, I don't want to, or I don't hate my clients to, right? Yeah. Video across all platforms is big. Mm-hmm. It will get more views than any post you ever put anywhere. Always.
That's crazy.
Period. It is a little insane. But that's the way it goes. Think about yourself. When you on social media, do you look at all the posts or do you flip through the reels?
Right.
Most people flip through the reels, unless they're going to a friend's account and liking some stuff. You're not really looking for posts. You're looking to be entertained, right? Which is media. Now on search marketing platforms like Pinterest and YouTube and blogs, people are searching for something. So they're not just at the top of the funnel, meaning finding new eyeballs, new people to see your stuff, but they're also ready to purchase. Mm-hmm. People on Instagram and LinkedIn and even TikTok, even LinkedIn, I would say, are not necessarily looking or searching to purchase something or to learn something. Some are, but the bulk of people are posting on there. And then if they come across something, they're like, oh, that's interesting, but they're not really searching on there. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So with regards to Pinterest, what I found is the sweet spot is to do one video a week, maybe 2 videos a week, and then graphic pins. So Pinterest now is all about, it's one organic pin. With ads, there's a variety of stuff, but on Pinterest, it's one organic pin. That could be a video, that could be a graphic, or it could be a graphic and video in each other, right? And I have tried doing just graphics, which tends to drive traffic. And I've tried doing just video because getting the plays on there and everything helps certain analytics in there. But always, if I only do one type of format instead of both, the analytics are not where they are. So when you do a video, that helps with saves, that helps with people following you, that helps with your monthly views. Mm-hmm. The graphics, the educational content helps with those pin clicks and those outbound clicks, mm-hmm. which is growing your business clicks. Those are the analytics that's growing your business. They're not just being entertained or not just looking at stuff. They're actually taking action. They're clicking twice to get to your website. Mm-hmm. It's really important that I say this. A lot of people, I got to plug in my phone, sorry. A lot of people really focus on content, mm-hmm. but they don't focus on their website converting people. So here I am, this little Pinterest manager, and I'm driving a tremendous amount of traffic for my clients, and they're wondering where the sales are. And when I go to the website, go to their blog, they have no button to download a document. They have no button to book. They have no button to have a consultation. It's not converting. Mm-hmm. So having said everything I said today, your house needs to be in order. Your mm-hmm. website truly needs to be set up to drive those conversions.
So helpful. So good. Even just understanding the difference between the purpose of each kind, not just what platform, but what you're posting and what the purpose of that is. And then, yes, once they get to your website, what are you doing about all that beautiful traffic that you've brought?
It's like please. Yeah. And I'll say the number one thing you can do on your website is to have a button at the very top of your page. If it's, look at our products or schedule a consultation call. Like when I went to your website because I wanted to get gifts for my clients, I went to the page that talked about gifts for clients, and right at the top, it said book, order or whatever it is. And I think I downloaded a PDF and then could order what I wanted or whatever. Mm-hmm. But most websites are not like that.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Oh my gosh, so much good stuff crammed into not a ton of time, which is amazing. I so appreciate you sharing your expertise. All right, two things before we wrap up. Number one, I would just love to hear, you said you had your Scented Designs candle that we made just for you for Jen Vazquez Media Burning. Just why should someone get a branded candle for their business?
Yeah. So number one, whenever you have something branded, it's so that you're remembered, right? So when we give a gift to somebody, if it doesn't have our name on it, they might think of who they got it from, but it's not fully branded. And so from a marketing perspective, giving something that has my information on there is kind of a constant reminder of who I am and what I'm doing. And so when you buy gifts, obviously you want to buy personalized gifts. But for me, this is super personalized because it's, I think it was linen that I got.
Yeah.
Those things, right? And for me, that's a clean smelling, let's clean everything up type of scent, which is perfect for Pinterest because you want to go in and clean it up and make it fresh and all that kind of stuff. Plus, the smell is so good. Plus, it's not going to give them headaches. Like I literally get headaches from every single candle. Don't why, but obviously I do. It must be toxic in some way, and I just didn't know. And so these candles not only remind people of what it is, but all my clients like will actually send an email or a DM, or when we talk next, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, your candle! Your candle, by the way, it's my candle."
But no, it's yours.
But it smells so good, and I always say you can go onto Amazon and get them at Scented Designs, or you can go to her website. And she goes, they're the best. I'm like, okay, go buy them. Tell them Jen sent you. They truly are the best. Unlike flowers or food that you send to a client, they die within a couple days or they're gone when you eat them. These candles burn for a long time. So they're amazing. Sorry.
No, that was amazing. Thank you for the testimonial. But it's funny because I'll talk about, client gifting and branded client gifts, and then actually hearing, obviously, your perspective, not just as my client in this case, but as a marketing expert, like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is truly like, and I have to be honest, they are amazing candles. And when you look out there at client gifts, they're an amazing price. So the amazing price and the amazing candle don't really go together. Like, I don't know how you made that magic, but it is cost effective for your business, reminds clients of who you are and to keep remembering you. And
Thank you. Love it. Love it. Okay. So finally, thank you for that. Can you share, you've shared so much value today with our audience, and thank you to anyone who's been joining us listening. Where can people find you and how, just where can they find you? And we'll start that. Yeah. Where can they find you?
Yeah. I would just say, because you're here on Instagram, so I'm going to tell you my Instagram because I think that's a smart thing to do. It's Jen Vazquez Media, and my last name has 2 Z's in it. So a lot of people type the wrong one and can't find me, but it is Jen Vazquez Media. And just send me a DM and I can tell you the free ways we can work together and the paid ways we can work together if Pinterest or marketing in general is something that you're looking for.
Perfect. Love that. And that's a great just way to share too, because with all the like Instagram links and not being able to link, I love that. Send her a DM. She'll send you all the info.
Fast.
Really, right.
Less work.
Which is what we're all about here. Thank you again, Jen, so much. Thanks, Michelle. You've been on here for ages. I love it. Thank you. And everyone else that joined. Check Jen out. Honestly, like, she's done so much great things for my business, and just, she's such a lovely, lovely person to know. So connect with her. Jen, thank you again.
Anytime you want. Have a great day. I'll see you.
Thank you. You too. Bye.